Yo, what is up, everybody? It's me, 45, and this is Let's Get Sticky. We are joined with Trigger Trash TV from the MLB community tonight. So, Trigger, give us a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Trigger Trash Gaming. A lot of people call me Trig or CJ or dude. It's a little bit of here, a little bit of there. Little from a small town, Oklahoma. Firefighter, dispatcher. I've been streaming for right at a year and a half now. A little back and forth, trying to stay consistent with it. Hitting some MLB hard, and then I've recently started dabbling back in NCAA 14 PS3. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Uh, Juggling wife, kids, job, all the stuff going on right now, on top of streaming, on top of craziness. So could be blessed enough stream wise, meeting all the people that I have, but that's about it for me. Just wife, kids, job, staying busy as hell, on top of
So,
streaming.
so going into your job as a firefighter, are you a full time or are you strictly a volunteer guy?
I'm full time.
Full time firefighter. How long you been
Yeah,
doing? How long you been doing that for?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. I got into it like prime time. I mean, like I said, um, went all through high school. I was all about baseball, football, play football, basketball, baseball. Went played college ball for a year, didn't work out, so I went right into work and immediately became a volunteer. There was a spot that came up a year into me being a volunteer, be a full time man. I absolutely jumped on it. So
I mean, what got you
I've
into
been,
firefighting? I mean, what was there always an interest there, or?
yeah, my stepdad's been in for shit. He's 19 years now.
Woof.
So I grew up in the firehouse going to, call or not necessarily calls, but we have a monthly meeting. So I'd always go up to his meetings with him. I'd always see him going on calls, helping people. Like we'd go on vacation, someone be broke down, we stopped, helped them. You know what I mean? We go on vacation and if there's a car wreck, he stopped and helped them. So it was, it's always kind of embedded in my head. This
Yeah.
is what you do. So, the second that I was like, hey, I can become volunteer, I'm like, I'm doing it. Was
Right.
100% jumping on it. So
So have you? I imagine in 6 years you had to run into a couple houses that were blazing.
we've had a few.
How
We've had a
how
few.
how intense is that?
Dude, and that's so like so I always had the biggest chills Friday Night Lights football.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was
I got you.
so it's the biggest adrenaline rush. It's like fucking riding wheelies down the fucking street. It's like, it's the stuff you don't get anymore because you're older. And
Yeah,
then you run into a fire. It's like the biggest like nerve rush. Let's get in it. Let's get after it. Only thing that sucks about fire is you have to clean up afterwards. I mean, that's the only thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I get that, but I mean, as long as people get out safe, I guess it don't matter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some sketchy stuff. We've been crazy. We've been. I mean, I've only been on for 6 years. I mean, we could sit here and talk about all day long, all the crazy stuff I've seen, all the people we've helped, and it's a blast, dude. It's. I don't think there's anything more rewarding on this earth. I'm gonna be honest with you. It
Yeah,
gets it gets old at times when you're running on the same people 15 billion times a day. You know what I mean? Going, but then you have the rewarding calls where you actually help somebody, where you actually, you save their fucking day, you save
yeah,
something out of their house. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean,
so I
that's.
mean,
I used to be around it myself, but I never pursued it. Like,
hmm
I never got into it like that. I don't know if I've always been about helping people, but like I think there's something about fire that kind of scares me.
right.
Like, I mean, I think what did it
It,
in for me as I watched. Oh, what was that movie? I watched the movie and I think it did it in for me back in the day when I think I was younger actually, and the dude like fell through the floor
hmm
and they couldn't find him, and his thing was beeping away for him to find him, and there was just too much stuff to get to him, and he burned up in the fire, and then this kid was left without your dad, and I was like, yeah, that's enough for me.
Yep. No, and dude, I've been in a couple crazy situations. I've melted my face mask off my face
Whew.
to almost the point where, we actually use it as training now. I'll have to try to find you a picture of it, like, because my chief literally uses it as a training because it's Like the mentality of a firefighter is, hey, don't be a pussy. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
get in
yeah,
there, get it done. You know what I mean? So that's what it was, and dude. I was in this corner of the house, and it was hot, hot, hot,
yeah.
hot. And that's the first thing out of my chief's mouth. Don't be a pussy. So guess what? Went right up to it, dude. I'm telling you, just completely like it melted my face mask. I mean, completely waved it, and then it was melting through my actual SCBA, which is like the
Holy
infection
shit!
breathe
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
got you. I know what that. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking
So,
about. That's crazy. I never seen nothing
mhm.
like that.
Yeah, I'll have to try to find you a picture. I'll have to send it to you.
So how
It's
intense? How intense was that? Like, I mean, did that like scare you after that? After
I
you
I
that
didn't
hot?
know I didn't know what happened. I got bad like heat rash, heat burns, and stuff on my
Yeah,
arms, but I didn't know what happened. I thought it was just really smoky. So I was like going like this, trying to like wipe the smoke off your face.
it's just
Like you're
melting.
just like nothing there, dude. I mean, it was completely
Wow.
like melted plastic. You know, it gets like really
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
hard.
got you. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly it. Like couldn't see through it. I was just like, I don't know what the hell happened. And then I flipped it up. I was like, oh man. So that's
I
when everyone
mean, like, so
recognized.
I mean,
Oh, no.
did that do
Well,
anything to you?
here you go. So for anybody that's ever been in my stream, you know that so this part completely melted.
And that's some hard
So
plastic as it is, guys.
oh
Like
yeah, I
that's
think we looked it up afterwards. I think it was like 500 degrees to melt those. So
Jesus. So I mean, like, did it do anything to you? Did it scare you after that? Like, I mean,
uh if it, I mean, it made me learn. I mean, it made my chief learn too. On top of it, you know what I mean? Just hey, give me chill sometimes because there was nobody inside. You know what I mean? There's literally nothing more we could have done.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, if so the whole thing about firefighting, so if there's a life, so it's life for life. If there's no life inside, don't
let it
you know what I mean
burn.
don't put your life in you know what I mean in danger.
Yeah,
So you know if there's life inside that's in danger, you put your life in danger. So there was nobody inside. There was no cat, or I mean, we wouldn't save cats or dogs. I mean, we try to, but it's you know what I mean. It's human
yeah,
life for human life. Well, there was nobody inside. Didn't have to do anything crazy. We're surrounded and drowning. This is what it's called. So we're just outside, just putting water on it because the house is gone.
yeah, yeah.
And there's nothing salvageable in it. So you know what I mean. It didn't necessarily have to go that way. So it kind of taught everybody a lesson. So it
Yeah.
was good in that way. So
I
it's
mean, like, I just feel like things like when things like that happen,
mhm.
it either shocks you, or you just like fuck it, like move on to the next fire. Like,
Oh, dude, the butt puckered. I'm telling you, I can't even lie to you. I mean, it's scary. It's, but then at the same time, you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. But
I
you
mean,
mean let
did it mess with you when you went to like your next call? Like, was that in your mind
mhm,
at all? Like, is it going? Because I know there's things like that
yeah,
that happen. I
yeah,
know a couple of my buddies. Like my one buddy thought he was done. Like, and they were in a fire. The floor fell. Like part of the floor went, and his foot went down in, and the fire's
right,
just coming up. Like it's like right underneath him, and like it melted his boot.
yeah,
Luckily, it didn't get into like his pants or anything like that. Like they pulled him up quick enough, but it was like he said it was in with like seconds that boot was lit and like melting away. And I was just
yeah,
like, he's like, now it's not. I guess you guys are trained to kind of move on from that situation, but at the same time, he's like, dude, it sticks there every time I step on a floor, like, and
yeah,
he's like, every time I step, dude, he's like, it's in the back. It's not in the like. He's like, I don't think about it when I'm there, but he says
mhm,
it's in the back of my head. Like I'm afraid to step sometimes.
right,
And I was like, I'd be afraid to step too, man. You almost burnt.
yeah.
Like, like that would be crazy. But
Only thing that's really ever messed me up was medical calls. You know what I mean because we're
yeah, you
a
see
first
some crazy
responder
stuff.
service. That's the only times that I've ever like, hey, I need help. I go to which and that's the one thing that I'm blessed about having my stepdad. You know what I mean? Dude's been on for 19 years. So
You've
he's
seen it
seen it.
all.
He's done it. So I have someone to go vent to.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's super we've talked about it on my stream a bunch. You know what I mean? There's because I have a lot of people that you know what I mean attract to me that's military, that's firefighters, that's
Hmm.
police officers, just because it's super easy. You know what I mean? We see the same stuff, we deal with the same people. You know what I mean? We see and it's so much easier to talk to someone that understands than just some I mean, like for instance, my wife
Yeah.
or my mom, or you know, if I went to talk to them, they would sit there and listen, sure, but to understand it is completely you know, what I mean, talk to
Yeah, I
someone and they
got you.
understand
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
just I don't know.
Oh, I got exactly what you're saying with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're dealing with, you get to see, they see what you see, and the longer they're there, they learn how to
Yep.
adapt and handle the situation better. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen stuff myself, even just as person and being around that stuff as a kid. Like, people
Mhm.
we go up to cars and their head might not be there, and like
Mhm.
it's traumatizing. Like,
Yep.
you're like, oh shit, like like
Yeah.
it's real. Like, this shit is happening right now. Like, your mind doesn't know how to process that stuff. No, I don't think your mind ever processes it. Like, those types of things that you go through in life. Like, I don't think you really, like, no matter how many times you see it, I don't think your mind knows how to process it, but your mind knows how to adapt to keep you
That's
right.
that's exactly it. It gets weird because you get so numb to, "Oh, that's a dead person."
Yeah,
Okay.
it
You know what I
is.
mean? Like, that's the one thing I hate about fire service, medical service, anything like that, is because you get so you know what I mean? You'll
Yeah,
have a
you get
grandma
numb to
pass
it.
away, or you know what I mean, a parent pass away or something like that,
Just
and it's like
takes you
normal.
days or months
Right.
before it to actually kick in. Like,
Before it
oh
clicks.
fuck, they're
Yeah,
gone.
you go to call 'em or you go to do something like that, and you're like, "Fuck." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's you know, it's super weird. That's the one thing I absolutely hate about fire service, military. I mean, because I know that they go through the same stuff we do. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's super, super,
especially
super hard.
in the military, is just got to be crazy. Because I mean,
Yeah, it's the biggest
especially
step up.
if you're like, you're not at your,
Mhm.
you're not home when you're home turf. You're in another country or something like that, and you're just they got to be so careful who, if they have to shoot somebody, they got to be careful they're not shooting civilians. Or and
Mhm.
in some of those countries, you don't know, sometimes you don't know who a civilian is, man. They're sending kids out to do this stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
and like, I couldn't
I couldn't
imagine some of
imagine
the
that.
guys having to pull the trigger on a kid that's got like a bomb tied to him or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Like, honestly, I think I would just freeze up, and that'd be all she wrote, and I'm probably gonna blow him with them.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
mean,
that's yeah, that's definitely way step up. Yeah, I'm
that's
not
what I'm
comparing
saying.
myself to military,
Nah,
but God.
that's just the things I think about. Like, when I think about it, it's like because my mom's one friend, he was actually in Iraq when they were over there going after Saddam,
Mhm.
and he came back, and like, dude was the funniest dude, one of the happiest guys you'll ever meet. He came back, and it was like he was just this total utter person.
Complete flip.
And
Mhm.
I mean, he's seen things and did things,
Mhm.
and he drank one night, and it just it hit this weird flick. Look, I was out, dude. I was like, I got my mom. Like, look, somebody else can handle that. Like, we got to go, because he
Mhm.
was having like a flashback, and I was like, they got to call somebody else to handle that. And that's when it got real to me. It was like what these guys go through. Like, my uncle served, my pat, my mom's dad. They all, like, my whole family served Navy, Army, Marines. Like, it's all
Mhm.
throughout the fam. Like, I was actually going for it, um, but I got with a bad group of recruiters. Like, those guys aren't even around anymore, from what I understand. Like, they put me in. They got me set up for basic and everything. When we got into basic, like, I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to leave to go to basic, and then they moved my date. So I'm like, okay, I was prepared. My mind
Right.
was set. I was ready to go. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. So it comes down to the second date. They did it again,
Yeah.
and I snapped on a recruiter. Like, I was already, like, I was lit. Like, I don't play around with my emotions very much, and I don't play around with certain things like that, because this involves my family.
Mhm.
This involves my mom, my dad. All It involves everybody, because they got to prepare. Even though it's basic, they still got to prepare. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, getting ready to take a journey in life. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
this is for real. Like,
Yeah, you made the commitment, you're ready to go.
so then it comes to the third time they did it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going nowhere. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm going to play football. And that's what I did. I went and played
Yeah.
football. I was 18 years old, out of high school. I was playing college ball, and I actually ended up leaving college and went and played minor league football. Like, I was
Mhm.
stupid, should have stayed in college, but I made that choice. But I had I played a great deal of minor league ball. I played for 14 years. Like, I played
Oh, wow.
14 seasons of it.
Wow.
So, um, it was pretty intense. It was really intense for that that time. Like I really was like, I just focused on football. Like the recruiters wouldn't leave me alone. I'm like, look, dude, like I'm not going nowhere. I was like, you guys blew that. I was like, I can't keep getting my mind in that frame and then leaving it and then getting it back in and then leaving it. Like
Yeah. Getting let
you're
down.
you're kind of basically setting yourself up for
Hmm.
failure. Like
Right.
my mind's not going to be as strong going into it. And when
Yeah.
my mind, when I was ready to go, I was ready to go. My mind was locked in. I knew what I had to do. So I was like, when that happened, I just played football, and then got to this.
Dude, and I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. I'm a super, super firm believer everything happens for a reason. You mean just the little stuff here and there that could have, hey, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have, I mean, like how I met my wife was a completely off the wall situation.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because I met my wife at a lake. We weren't together. We both had, you know what I mean? I had a girlfriend. She had a boyfriend. Met like one time, and I wasn't even supposed to be at the lake that day. You mean a year later, I hit her up and we went out on our first date. Now we have 2 kids and been married for 5 years this year. So, I mean, it's
Jeez.
just, you know what I mean? Just if I didn't go to the lake that one day, it would have never, everything that's happening right now would have never happened. You know what I mean? So I'm super, super little here, little there's
Yeah,
makes the world go round and round. I mean, you never know where you'd be sitting at right now if your recruiter wasn't a jackass. You know what I mean?
could be
You
dead.
wouldn't playing football, and you know what I mean. So I mean, you never know. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I
Makes the
mean
world go
that's
round and
that's
round.
that's kind of how like me and my wife like we got it's kind of like a weird story like that too. Is like my mom used to change her diaper back
Hmm.
when she was little, uh,
Right.
and I ran around with her older brothers,
Hmm.
and then we knew each other in high school. Didn't really pay attention to each other in high school.
Right.
Um, and then I went to Maryland, and I went to visit my sister and another woman. And then I ended up at my brother's, and I literally started talking to her. This is when what was it? AIM, I think it was around still at the time. AOL AIM, I think it's what it's called. It was a chat, little
Oh,
chat thing.
those chat rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little chat thing. So we we were talking on there, and we were just like nonstop talking. And I was like, well, where are you? She's like, I live in New York. I'm like, well, how about this weekend I come up? And I literally drove to like the Hamptons, like Long Island. Like
Oh
it was
wow.
so long, dude. I hate the drive. I absolutely hate the drive. It is so long. It's like a 10-hour drive, I think, up and back to PA.
Yeah.
So it's really long. And so we I started doing that every weekend. I was driving up there every weekend.
Oh
And
Jesus.
then she came back. She came back with me, and I was like, well, we were getting really, got pretty serious with it. And I'm just like, why
Mhm.
don't you just move in so I don't have to fucking drive up there?
Right. No doubt.
And she moved in, and then we went through all this craziness. But then we've been married, I think 6 years, and been
You better
together
not
for
you better not
12
mess that
years.
up.
I dude, I got yelled at yesterday because I went over it. Like I'm like we've been together for 13 years, married for 7. She's like 6
No.
and 12 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I made it longer and I still get in
Uh-oh.
trouble. Like
Uh-oh. There it is.
I
You
know,
married
always,
7 together.
always. See, but if I had if I was it was if I had that time shorter, I would have still got yelled at. So no
Oh,
matter
yeah, I
what you
would
do, you just get yelled at.
yeah, shoot for the stars, bud. Shoot for the stars.
That's what I was doing. I was giving her at least another year of marriage.
Get some extra credit.
I was
Nah,
good. I was letting her know that she's good for another year yet.
that's kinda how mine and my wife were in the beginning, you know what I mean? Because I was working so as soon as I got out of college and I was like, "Alright, I need a job," I'm not gonna sit on my ass. I'm not that
Yeah,
type of guy. Yeah, man, I'm gonna pay for my own stuff. I wanna move out. I wanna you know what I mean? Experience stuff on my own. So I went and worked Highland Dairy, right?
yeah, yep,
You know what I mean, where you get milk
yep,
and
yep.
everything. So I worked at Highland Dairy plant for my year and while I was a volunteer, and then of course I got my full-time spot and jumped all over that. So my year of volunteer, I was actually working and then going through EMR, which is my first responder
Yeah,
classes
training.
at the
Yep.
same time. So I was training and working, and which I didn't have wife or kids or anything, but
So
I
yeah,
was seeing my wife on weekends. So she lived about an hour and a half away. So she would either drive down and stay with me, or I'd go up there and stay with her for the weekend. So we'd see each other for like 2 days, not see each other for a
That's
week,
how it was
see
with
each other for
us.
2 days.
Literally,
Yep.
literally,
So
it'd be the weekend, and I'd have to
yep,
take her back up. Like
yep.
it sucked. A drive.
I hated that.
I hate.
I hated it
Like
too.
I take that. I'll take an hour and 45 over 10 hours
Oh
of
yeah,
driving any
yeah,
day.
yeah. I
Any
thought
day.
my hour 45 was bad. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look where I'm at now.
Mhm.
I got 4 kids. I got a
Yep.
wife. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm coming back to everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
telling you.
they were picking on me because of my hairline and stuff. I was like, bro, look, I'm like, I'm bald. I'm going bald up here.
Right.
I was like, look, I'm married. I don't need Rogaine or nothing. I'm
Yep.
just whatever happens, happens. I'm just going with
Yeah.
the flow.
Dude, I'm gonna wear a hat till the day I die.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm wearing a hat
Yeah.
until like
Mine's starting to creep back, so I'm just gonna stick with my
oh
hat on.
mine's
Yeah.
I look like I got a runway, bro. It's so thin. It's a big old landing strip. I got lights on it. During Christmas, I put lights on it so you can Santa knows where to land. You know what I mean?
Fucking awesome.
But getting into we got a little bit into your life and all that stuff. Now getting into the streaming part of it, what got you
Right.
into it?
Dude, honestly, whenever Fortnite was big,
I
like
started
big, big,
Fortnite
big,
too.
uh, I wanted to show my buddies. That's it.
Yeah,
Literally, that's it. So I literally just started an account and put it on because I was like, well, there's got to be a way I can show you. I mean, because I was trying to show him something with Fortnite.
yeah.
I was like, well, hell, I was like, let me look at this, and I hit the share button and looked at the broadcast. That's literally how I started, just trying to
So you
show
just hit the button and you were streaming.
hitting the button, and so I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I had a few people in and out, but most of the time it's just my buddies watching me. So I actually started on YouTube. I think I still have videos up on my YouTube
God, I
still.
feel like I'm
Which I did,
talking to my twin.
yeah. Uh,
That's
and
where I
I
started
mean,
too.
yeah. So I literally started on YouTube, and I was like, all right, I'll start this. Well, my wife ended up getting pregnant. I mean, we were having my boy, and so baby boy, very firstborn. So I didn't get to stream that much. I mean, I was a
Yeah.
brand new dad. Like, what do I do with this thing?
What do I do?
So so I had literally stopped streaming. I mean, I went and bought like I had started out with just a Yeti mic or the snowball mics.
Oh my god, I hate that mic. I was
So
there
I
too.
started out with
Same
the
one.
yeah snowball mic, Logitech, just the what was it 950? Hell, I had it just not too long ago.
I don't know about the
Um,
950. I had this. There's a 920 and the
Yeah,
922.
yeah, the 920, I'm sorry, the 920. I
Say
don't know why I was
950.
saying
That's a new one.
950.
That's a new
Yeah,
one.
so I had the Logitech 950, 9 fucking 920, Jesus Christ. So in my very first PC that I got, I literally traded I had a DJI drone that I got for Christmas, like, a year ago, and a Surface laptop. So this is what I'm telling you, that how bad I grinded on all my stuff. I got lucky too. But I had my very first computer that I traded for a DJI and a Surface laptop. I streamed off of that, and I kind of learned the ins and outs of the computer. I'm kind of nerdy, dude. Like I like documentaries. I like learning how stuff works. Like today, I figured out how like iOS 14 like announced. I already figured out how to like upgrade my phone to that, like to the beta version. Like I'm just like I'm super nerdy about that. And I was like, well, I want to build my own computer. I want to get some money together, sell this one, build my own computer. Literally the next day, my buddy hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm short on money. I know you talked to me a little bit about computer. I need to sell mine." So I literally sold my computer the next day and bought his. And dude, I have a 1070 Ti, i7 8700K. You know what I mean? At the time, it was probably a $2,000 computer that I
Yeah,
bought for $1,000.
can't beat
You know what I
that.
mean? Yeah, I put a little bit of money in off of what I sold my computer for and bought that one. I mean, it was a smoking deal at the time.
Man, you can't beat that at all.
And
thousand
then,
bucks, especially because you probably bought it when all that Bitcoin was going on too. So
oh, dude, and I'm telling you,
freaking cards were through the roof. I think for like a 1070, you were paying $800 or more for a freaking card.
at the time, the highest one was a 1080 Ti. So I had a 1070 Ti. So it was probably $1,000 graphics card alone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean, at the time. So I mean, I got a smoking deal. I mean, because the dude needed money.
yeah.
So, and going back to the Go XLR, so I had them before. I can't even tell you one person that had them whenever I had mine. So I was streaming for 2 months, and my buddy, really, I mean, he's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. He came in, and so I had another. Me and my buddy started at the same time. He had some dude just go off the wall, kind of like yours. It's like, hey, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Hey, here's $500. Just drop $500 on him one day. All on bits. And so he was sitting there talking in my chat to my other friend that we all live in the same town. He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah, well my top bit donator, you been giving him shit." And he was like, "Yeah, my bit donator gave me $500." He's like, "How much? What's the exact?" And no bullshit, my buddy dropped the exact and then one more bit on me. Like if you look at my top bit donator, dude, that's how I bought my Go XLR like so
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
because I just put every single penny back to that. And I have until this very last one, I've put all of my, I've upgraded my stuff. I bought like a DSLR camera. I've got a Canon, uh, what is it, Rebel
Rebel.
SL2.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. Just I've got my 3 monitors, and I've little here, little there, little here, little there, and I finally got to the point where I'm like, shit, I don't, I'm
I just
good.
make content.
Yeah, dude, I'm good. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm gonna start doing big giveaways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sub goal giveaways, and like for this month, I'm doing. Hell, I got them set right
Hey,
here.
Astro A50s.
Dude, the A50,
I was
I'm
already
doing,
all over that. I see those on Twitter.
dude, and then so the A50s, and then I literally just got a Stream Deck Mini that I'm giving away for two. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
I'm literally I I'm to the mode now, which I have been since the beginning, dude. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be the same person with one follower as I am. I think I'm up to like 1,600 now.
yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna help you out if you need help setting up your channel. I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll spend my time while I'm at work as long as I'm busy. Let's set your shit up. I don't know dude. I don't know how many people I've set up their channels for them. I've helped them. Hey, here's your
Dude,
alert.
it's intense now. It really is. But like, I mean, from when, so you've been what you said, a year and a half you've been
Yeah,
streaming.
right at a year and a half.
So I've been streaming. November will be 3 years for me. So like, what these guys are coming into is just like insane. Like these new streamers. Like I keep looking at it, and I like sometimes I get lost in it. Like when I'm going through some of it, I'm just like, bro, what though? I'll get lost in what I'm doing. I'll be like, I couldn't imagine coming into it right now. Like
Yeah,
it was like so less
it really was
when I come
just a year
in,
ago.
and now like it
Mhm.
is like my mind would boggle, bro. Like some of the mixer guys coming over. I've helped a couple mixer people coming over to Twitch
Yep.
already because that platform is more ridiculous. Like that platform is so much harder to set stuff up because you had to go get
Yeah.
codes in and make it pop in there and all this other
Mhm.
stuff. And I'm like, bro, just I'm showing them how to do it, and they're like, wow, this is really easy to set up.
Yeah, it's
I
simple.
said it is, but there's a lot to learn because there's certain places that certain things are hidden that you just can't find
Mhm.
unless you actually click through everything.
Right.
And I was like, it gets overwhelming. Like it really, like I remember when I
Mhm.
first went from YouTube to this, I was overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed. I was like, there's a lot of shit. And
Mhm.
back then, it really, really wasn't like it really wasn't 2017. It wasn't like this.
Dude,
And,
I literally said the same thing. Even like a year ago to now, the support that people do, like to go beyond, and I
oh
mean,
yeah,
it's like I don't remember like because my Cream Freesh.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, so I met Cream when he had like 20 followers. I mean, I was all about Cream. I instantly fell in love with Cream. I love that dude to death. I mean, we still talk every single day.
yeah.
Hell, I think he's streaming right now. Um,
Fucking Warzone or
but
something. Just
yeah,
out of his element.
he's I love that guy. But I hit him super early, and I was telling him, I was like, dude, I don't. It started of that era where everyone just went nuts with follows, with subs. I don't know where or when it happened, and
Yeah,
especially the MLB community. I believe a lot of it. You never seen it anything. Do you know who the True Smog is?
yeah. I know most of those guys over there. Like I said, I spent a
Smog.
lot of time there
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
But
Smog is the very first person I've ever seen just go nuts. You know what I mean? Gifting people, showing people love. And I
uh,
literally feel like it just became a norm to everybody. It was like, oh, you know what I mean? Here you go. And I was the same way. I never, I would hit people with some subs every once in a while. But now I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? You support me, I support you. Here's a sub. You know what I mean? Here's my love. And I really feel like he, from at least the MLB community on my side,
mm,
I think he's the one that started it all in MLB community on why
yeah.
everybody's so. tight knit and showing
Like
love.
like he probably just switched to the show because he was playing Call of Duty. He was playing something else too. I don't know what
How
he
is he
was playing.
playing?
He was a mess. He
MLB.
was all over the place today. Now he's playing
Yeah.
MLB. But yeah, I mean, like that's what I've explained this to a lot of people from the Madden community. Like it's been like a whole from last year to this
Battery
year.
low.
It's
Mhm.
been a whole like it's been a whole flip from last year to this year.
Charging
Like
battery.
you've seen that
Charging battery.
the toxicity of um like it switched on Twitch itself. Like I mean, there's still some stuff that goes on, but
Right.
inside like the sports communities and different stuff like that, you've seen more of a band like come together, like people wanting to help each other, people aren't being assholes,
Right.
like they want to work with each other. I mean, of course you got the top guys, they don't ever want to work with anybody because they want it all. But I
Right.
mean, there's some top guys that are pretty cool, like ScoMo. I don't know if
Mhm.
you ever watch him, but he's
Right.
he's like my favorite streamer. Like
Right.
I got into streaming because of him,
Yeah,
and
I started watching him because of Tote. I was always into
he's
Tote YouTube
yeah
videos.
he actually was on the show already. Like
Mhm.
there's some guys that will do it, but there's also those guys that are just they're too big. They're too big to do anything with anybody smaller. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I mean, a prime example. Do you see the Jugsy Siegel in your chat
yeah,
earlier?
I know Jugsy.
He's yeah, he's one of the top dudes in MLB. So I mean, and he's the same exact way. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Awesome fucking dude.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm
You
saying. Like those, and I
I
think
love
that's
about
I
MLB.
think that's a huge like I think that's a huge thing for those big guys too.
Mhm.
Um, because some of us new, some of the newer guys in here, like I don't consider myself newer, but I'm not, and I don't consider myself super tiny either. I'm like in the
Right.
middle of it all, but
Right.
I also feel is like we all need to help each other for the fact that some of us have good ideas. You know what I mean? Like I would love to work with a bigger person and
Right.
like I have plenty of ideas. Like I want like this show, I would love to get it on here where I can have multiple people on at the same time and it's a group of us just
Mhm.
talking about whatever we talk about. And
Right.
like that's the thing is like getting those guys, like some of those guys are just they're about it and some aren't about it. And
Mhm.
so like I mean, like I said, I've had Big Kep over here. I've had ScoMo. I've had multiple Madden pros over here, like belt winners and stuff like that. So I mean, that like is crazy because that wouldn't have happened last year.
Right. Oh, I agree with you.
Like it
150%.
would have not happened last year. Like I don't even know like because I used to watch a couple people, couple of the bigger players. I'm not gonna put their names out there,
Right. Right. Right.
but like I couldn't even stand in their chats. Like I couldn't go in their chats because it just felt like I was there and they were like it was strictly like hey let's get this money.
Mhm.
And I mean I get it if it's your job yeah, but
Right.
don't
Man,
feed it like don't put like don't make that that feeling come out.
mhm.
Like, and-
That I think that's just personal. I mean, it's just because, like I said, I would rather you just be in my chat than sub to me. I would rather. That's just the type of person I am. You know what I mean?
yeah
Don't get me wrong. I am 100%. I mean, I think people that sub 1,000 times every fucking stream. But if you're in my stream and chatting, that's exactly what I want. If you sit there and go beyond and show beyond love with bits or subs or donations, anything like that, you know what I mean? That's huge for me because I'm like, you know what I mean? I have to be doing something
yeah.
uh, positive, good. Because I mean,
Well, I
I
mean,
don't care if
I think people also get like the realness. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
so like not everybody's naive. Like some people can tell, like, hey,
Mhm.
if this guy's just talking down his ass,
Right.
and it's not really who he is. You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
the thing is like when people realize that and they see that you're who you are, and they're gonna get
Right.
the real you every time you're live and whatnot.
Right.
They're more. I think they're more prone to doing the above and beyond stuff.
Right.
And
And that's I'm telling you, I'm the same exact guy outside of this. Talking on here, you talk to me on the phone, same dude. Talk to me on the stream, same dude. I'll go buy you a beer. I'm just I don't know if that's just the type of person I am, or but that's, if you don't like that content, you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with you not watching me, and
Yeah,
I would rather be the same size for the rest of my streaming career if that meant that I could be the same person I am right now, or the same person I was when I started, the same person. You know what I mean? If I ever get to the point where I think I'm better than someone, I don't want to stream anymore.
yeah.
That
I
that
mean,
that's just me.
I
I,
mean, I don't know if you look at it completely like that. Like, because I mean, there's times like you're gonna go, you're gonna grow, and you're gonna get better than people.
right,
And that there's a difference of knowing that you may be better than somebody than putting it out on like the
right,
street in front of everybody. Like I'm better than this guy. Da, 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 da. Like
right.
you have to think in your head, no matter what. If you want to succeed here, you got to think, oh,
Sure.
I'm better than this guy. I'm going to be better than this guy. Like you got to
Right, for sure.
have that fire somewhere because if you don't, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right. Well, I get that, but I'm talking about if I'm ever big enough where, I mean, I'm just Zack Attack, Savage. They're both in my chats all the time. You know, I mean, the two that are talking right there. You mean if they come to me and write me, and I'm like, hey, fuck you, I'm better than you. If I ever get to that point
Yeah,
where I can't help out, you know, I mean, sure. If it gets to the point where I have a million fucking people writing me and I'm huge, then I can see how I can't get to everybody.
yeah,
But at the same time, if it's just a mentality thing, I don't ever want to be big. You know what I mean? If I have that mentality like, oh no, I'm a big partner and I have 3,000 people watching me, I'm too big for you or something. You know, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get that big, but I also felt like I would never get to 1,600 followers. So I don't know.
I mean, I always look at it like this. You never know what's going to come out of it. I mean,
Right.
like I said, I would have never thought in a million years that somebody goes and throws a donation for somebody playing a game. I would
Right.
have never thought of somebody paying and putting the setup in front of me that I have. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
never. Like there's
I
like
feel that.
I mean, did I
Yep.
ever think I was going to get to where I'm at? Hell no.
Yep.
I always like people were like, "How you do it?" I was like, "There's no real way of doing it.
Yeah.
There's no book on how you do it. There's
Mm-mm.
there's
Consistency
I mean, to a point, like your content
yeah,
has to speak somewhere along the line.
for sure.
Something has to be
Hmm.
about you for somebody to relate to. You know what I mean? Like so,
Right.
like when I look at it, as I'm like, well, there's a lot of luck in it, and I really
Yeah.
think that I think there's a ton of luck in it. Like people be like, oh, I'm like, I'm telling you, there's luck in it because I know people that
Time
have been on this.
slots.
There's been
Yeah.
people on this platform I know that have been streaming 6 years, seven
Hmm.
years, 4 years, and I'm beyond them. And
Right.
but my goal with them guys that they support me so much. My goal with them is I'm bringing them along as much as I can,
Right.
and I'm always like I'll post their links 100 times. Like when I get a big raid, like that's the first thing I do. Like if I got 3,000 people in here, you better believe I'm plugging the guys that are supporting me. I'm
Hmm.
plugging their link every
For sure.
time. Like I'm
Yep.
plugging
For sure.
multiple. Like I think we did
Yeah.
it the one night we got hit. What was it? I think we got hit one night, and we got hit from oh, what is it called? Mutthead. They do that
Oh
Friday night.
yeah.
They do that Monday night football.
Jesus
I mean
Christ.
Friday night
See,
football. There's 3,500 freaking people in
yeah, I was
here.
about to say you probably had
So
4 or 5,000
I'm
people.
just like I'm popping links, like links that they're like go follow these people. Da, 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 go follow. And I'm telling you, they all got follows. I
That's
think we
awesome.
actually there was a new guy, but he before he started streaming, he spent a lot of time here, and
Mm,
we literally blew his 50 follows out within like a minute. Like
wow.
he was already like it. So it only took him like a couple
That's
days to be
good.
affiliated or something like
That's
that.
awesome. That's awesome.
And I'm like, look, I was like, I'll lead you guys to affiliate, but then you guys got to put the work in. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm. Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's one thing. Like I'm that type of guy. I'm like you a lot. Like when you got to put you go to a certain spot and then you have to put that work in. They have to learn to
Mhm.
put the work in because if they don't, you're not going to succeed because
Yeah.
it's just not
And
easy.
yeah, and that's where I come back with my consistency thing because so there was a time that you know, I mean I was hitting it hard. So I went from you know, I mean like the YouTube thing and I played baseball and then whenever I switched I baseball was like dead. So I was like, all right. So I started with Call of Duty stuff. Well,
Mhm.
so the thing that I've
Super
super
saturated.
learned, dude, and that's it right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so hard to jump into. Let's just say, why would you watch me over Ninja in Fortnite? Why would you
Yeah.
watch me over Nick Mercs and Call of Duty? Why would you? Answer the question.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean why are you more
there's
unique?
like I think what happens is I think what gets those games are they get to a point where you can get a bunch of kids that watch you. Kids
Mhm.
aren't loyal.
Right,
Like they're not loyal. They're looking for that. Hey, can I play the game with you? You know what I
right,
mean? And they look for that interaction because they go in Ninja Stream. They know they're not getting talked to, and if they do,
right.
their mind pops. They get 1 second, like they hear, "Oh,
Mhm.
thank you for something." You know what I mean? And they really don't. Like
Right,
those guys don't acknowledge their chat unless they're getting
right.
a big dono or something flying around. And I get it.
Mhm.
You guys, they got stupid amounts of people. Like Ninja used to run over here with 140 some thousand people every
Right.
stream, and but I think that's where it comes to because I did well with Fortnite. I actually like I wasn't a builder, but I can win and I can shoot,
Mhm.
and I did pretty well in that. Like that's where I seen most of my biggest viewage. But that was back when Fortnite was in like season 1, season 2,
Right. Where you didn't
season
have to
3,
build.
when that shit was good, when
Right.
the game
Yeah.
was good, and like when you get into that in those games, like you have to understand. Look, like if I stop playing this game, I'm losing my viewers because these kids are dipping. If I stop playing with them, these kids are
Mhm.
dipping. Like,
Yep.
and that's what we got to. Like, like, I really want to play. I had to get away from it. I had to get away from it. I played the game 17 hours straight a day, every day,
Mhm.
and I had to get away from it. Like, so I went back to my roots in Madden, and
Mhm.
like it hurt. Like
Started from the bottom. Yep.
it was I didn't start bottom, but I did get
Yeah.
kicked in the nuts pretty hard. Like I went
Yeah.
from like it's like I'm talking like when I was in there, like I had 100 plus in there when I was playing Fortnite. And these
Right.
kids, like I was rotating kids, bro. Like that's all it was. It was like a little thing. I just rotated. Like you got 2 games, you're gone. 2 games, and like everybody would come in, whatever. Like, how do you do that? How do you like just like handle all these kids? Like, how do you do that? Like, doesn't it get annoying? I was like, dude, I don't even hear them.
Right.
Like after you get to a certain point of having like so
Right.
many kids in, and they're screaming or
Mhm.
they're just obnoxious, like yelling, "Oh, that's my gun!" Arguing, and you're like, you got to lay rules down. Like you literally, like, I had to lay rules down. I'm like, look, if you scream, you're done. If you if you start arguing over something, you're done.
You're done.
Like literally, I had to lay these rules down as they came in. Don't use these certain words. If you use these
Right.
words, you're gone. Like
Yep.
I literally laid that down. Like, and they were. I remember the first day I did it because the stream was dying. They were literally losing it because I put rules in it. So these kids would follow these rules. It was amazing how much they was. I was like, you guys don't even listen to their parents like this.
Yeah, no shit.
And that's what we did. We literally laid rules down, and that's how I handled it. And they're like people were like, "Dude, you're amazing to be able to handle that." I was like, "How do you have the patience?" I was like, "I don't know. Just always been a patient person."
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but now
It's
like when you're like into it, like you're so baseball is your main game, correct?
right.
That's your
Yes.
that's your main game.
Yep.
Now, what do you do? Is it what is your next step for you like as that game slows down because I know it will slow down. It might not slow down as bad this year because baseball is actually coming back a little bit later.
Yeah,
But
it's already started to slow down, and the game's so bad right now. Like it's so bad right
sounds
now,
like Madden.
dude. It's dude content A plus 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 plus. They're doing great content wise, but I really think that
Just the
them not being in
gameplay.
the studios and fixing stuff on COVID, dude, they have not fixed game. Hitting sucks, fielding sucks. They're not fixing the right thing, but they're pumping out A plus plus content. So I got to the point where I was starting to get tired of it. I'm dude. My last I don't know how many streams have all been NCAA.
Yeah, I
So I
seen you stream
literally,
it the other night.
yeah, I literally went and bought a PS3 and dropped 120 bucks on NCAA 14 just to get away
Jesus
from MLB.
mighty.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like I I was super 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 scared to play NCAA. To be honest with you, I'm still kind of nervous about it because whenever I started out playing Call of Duty, I had a decent following. You know, it wasn't too big. Well, I switched to MLB, and that's where I grew
Yeah.
90% of my followers is all MLB. Well, whenever MLB died, like it was like mid last year, around this time last year, it started slowing down. I was like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna go play Call of Duty. Lost everything. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
went from averaging 25, right around there, to averaging 4, 5,
Yeah,
starting all over.
Call of Duty I think is harder than
Yeah.
Fortnite because
Yeah.
like if you're not a top player in that, like you're not seeing them. Like if you're not a god player or you have like
Right.
ridiculous like content, like you're funny or
Right.
something, like you have those that element to you.
Yep.
It's rough because like I know as soon as I go play it, like I'll be like I'm sitting like 6 people,
Mhm.
and I'm just like I got to the point where I'm just like, you know what, whatever. Like I can't sit here and play Madden right now. Like Madden has nothing left to it. Like they cut the game early. I guess I don't know if that became because of COVID or what, but they put the very last promo out super early this year. Usually it doesn't
Right.
come to like the month, like right before I think it is. Um, right before the new one comes out, and they
Mhm.
dropped it. They dropped it already, and that promo was spent already. Like it was spent in the first day.
Wow.
Like I literally had cards I wanted out of it in the first day it came out, and I'm just like this sucks. Like I want to play the game, but there's nothing else to do. There's nothing for coins.
Mm.
The market crashed. Like there's nothing to really do because it's not
Yeah.
going to transfer into the game. So like I was actually talking to my wife about this the other day. I was like, I really don't know what to do. I want to do more with the show
Mhm.
because I'm seeing the viewage. People really like these things, and I
Mhm.
just got to figure out what I want to do with it. And it's hard to get. Like I said, I want to get like four of us on here, but it's hard to get people that actually commit to that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and that's the hardest part I'm having.
Yep.
But like I said, it's been crazy. Like to have a game die. Like I said, I don't know that Madden's ever died this early. And like you said, like baseball was hot last season. Like that
Yep.
thing was crazy for a long time.
Mhm.
And like I just don't know. Like I was saying, I forget who it was. It was actually kept today. Somebody's like, "Oh, he used to run with like 400 people every stream." I said, "Like playing Warzone." I was like,
Yep.
nobody. I was like, people don't really watch him do that. I said he goes in baseball or he goes to Madden,
Yep.
he'll have 200-300 people back in there
Yep.
instantly, and it
Exactly.
sucks. And that's what I try to explain to people. It really sucks. It sucks that we have to even endure that. But I mean,
Stick to one game.
people like that game. Like, and that's
Yep.
and when you spend as much time as you or myself, like you spend countless hours in baseball. I spend countless hours in Madden. Um, I'm over like 2,500, I think, for this year. And when you spend that much time, that's what your content is. You got to find, like, what I try to explain is you got to find content inside of the content.
Mhm.
And that's the toughest part. That's why I kind of jumped into YouTube now. You know what I mean? Trying to put stuff over
Yeah.
on YouTube. I'm kind of trying to take the advantage of it now. Is that why Madden 21 is still 60 days out. I have this time to
Is
learn
that far
YouTube.
out?
Yeah,
Ah.
and that's what I'm saying. It's super early. Like
Yeah.
they usually come out with the what's it called? I can't even think. Rookie Premiere.
Mhm.
It's usually the very last promo comes out in what? And it
Do
comes
they
out.
not do 4th of July or anything
Dude,
anymore?
they didn't do. They skipped it all. They've moved on. They've moved on from the game. Like literally, if you go on their site, they've switched everything over to Madden 21. They're promoting 21 already. Like they're doing,
Wow.
they've closed the game out. The game's done. They're You won't see another patch on it. You won't see anything. What you have now is what you get. I mean, you get like Ultimate Legends on the weekend until they run out of people. They can't
Right, but
upgrade
all they
anymore.
do is flip a button. I mean, fuck, that's they got
Yeah.
probably 2 guys on that. I mean, I think their live stream just started, so they probably just, "Hey, this is what's coming out. We're gonna
Well,
flip a button."
it's a deep gameplay button. It's a
Right,
deep gameplay. That's what that is. They're promoting 21 right now. That's what
right.
that stream is.
Wow.
So like I mean, like I said, they closed the game out. The game is
I
gone. Like
hate
they've
that.
transitioned. I'm just like, and then it's like we struggle. That's Madden guys that do the content. You struggle on it. Like, what do you do
Mhm.
if you don't have a big following, like a Cap, a ScoMo,
Dub.
like W
Right.
problem? Like, you can't
Mhm.
just disappear and go play another game because
Right.
you come back and your Madden community is going to be
Gone.
depleted.
Right.
So you have to find some way of putting yourself in your community and staying
Mhm.
there. So like what I did is I started like, and I suck. I wish baseball did it. Is where they allowed the online franchise. I wish they would bring it back so bad. because it allows you to do so much with your community. That's what we did. We started a online franchise in football for content. That's what we're
Mhm.
doing. We have 24 users inside of
I
it.
see your stuff. I see the chats all the time. I didn't know what
Like,
it was for.
yeah, that's
Like,
that's 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 for the league that we have going. Like, there's
mhm,
guys that are subbed and all that are in there, and
right.
I keep saying, I'm like, I wish baseball would do it because I would definitely jump on something like that. Like,
Well, they have something like that.
well, they have franchise, they don't have the online. Like, I want an online franchise where you get
Yeah,
the rosters
you
and they
can.
can progress. Well, they
You
don't
can.
progress. They don't progress.
Oh, right. Yeah, they don't progress. I mean, you get to use a team and you kinda
Yeah,
you
but
go against each other.
well,
They're
that's
they're
the
I think they're in the right steps towards it.
yeah. I
What
mean,
you
and I would love to see them come out to where the guys can progress and you can build your team, you can draft your team, and get into that scenario.
Mhm.
I think that'd be huge for baseball. Like,
Right.
and it just another dynamic. And that's what sucks about these games is that they're getting so wrapped up into where the money part of it is. And I get it, you're a business, but
Right.
there's other people that don't do that. And there's a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of league. Like, Madden has Madden. I think it's the Madden Bomber League. I think that's what it's called. MLB
Mhm.
league. That league is like a four time or 5 time Daddy League championship league. Like, that's what
Oh,
they
wow.
do. Like, they've been voted the best league in Daddy Leagues. You know what I mean? Like, you have people that want franchise. They don't want to put nothing into these
Yep.
modes because there's no money in them,
Right.
and it sucks. Like, I mean, like I said, like, you could have. It gives us another avenue as content creators. Like, if stuff starts slowing down, or just that part of the game. Like, I guess that'd be Diamond Dynasties that's got bad hitting
Yep.
and bad filling. So
Mhm.
it gives you another avenue to at least interact with your community and give your like what part, like, you know what I mean. There's guys out here that would love to jump in a league and play with their favorite streamer,
Yep.
and
And that's literally, I mean, with the whole NCAA thing, pretty much my first dabble into it. I'm literally just seeing. I just did a Road to Glory. I'm like, okay, are people going to watch? Dude, I have
oh, dude, it's
the same.
amazing game.
Dude, same if not enough, like more on NCAA than what I do in MLB. I literally just put a poll up. Was it last night, the night before? What game should we play tonight? NCAA or MLB? And everybody chose NCAA.
NCAA is
So,
probably like NCAA is going to go down. Like, I don't know how much you're into all that stuff with like football and stuff like that game wise,
mhm,
but NCAA probably and 14 is going to go down as probably one of the
yep,
best games that was ever created football wise,
yep. It
because
plays, dude. I'm telling you, I love the way it plays. I love everything. I'm literally gonna start. I think tonight I'm starting a sub dynasty. So
mm,
like people, if my sub comes in, it's like, hey, I want a player. I'm literally just gonna put their name and let them create their own player and let them be on the team. And that's what I'm gonna start now. So
yeah,
that's kind of my next step. Which MLB just got new content today, so people are ranting and raving about it. But I mean, that content in a week, everybody's gonna be mad because they're back to the gameplay fucking
something not going to be working.
right. You know what I mean? So you mean they'll grind this gameplay. It'll take a week to get everything, and then they're gonna be right back to this game fucking sucks.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna stick with NCAA for the most part, just because you
I
mean I
mean,
can.
you spent $125 on that game. You better
Yeah,
stick to it.
that's what my wife said too.
Yeah, I mean, like, the game, like, I love the game because, like, there's so much to do inside of it, and they got that game right. I wish they could have transferred it into Madden, like
Yep.
that part of it, like that Diamond Dynasty part or whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it. The dynasty part of that game is basically
Right.
franchise and Madden.
Hmm.
Like, that was
Yep.
so good. Like, the drafting was good. I loved it. I love playing that game because you could import your guys that you build up throughout your career into your Madden
Yep.
franchise. Like, it was awesome. I love
Yep.
doing it. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, so with you getting into all this, I mean, what's your next like step for you? Like, I mean, do you have any big plans coming up for anything new coming out game wise or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm so scared because I don't, dude, I'm so gun shy. I know that I shouldn't be, but and I know that I have more of a following now than when I did the first time that I was like, hey, I'm jumping ship, go and play Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I'm so scared to try something else out. Like just because I feel like because this is the most that I've been consistent. Hey, I'm gun ho. You mean because I took a break? I didn't stream like 4 or 5 times from like October to December
yeah,
because It like shot me. I was like, and I literally told myself, I sit here and look at this desk every day. I was like, let's get after it. Let's bust our ass. Let's do all this. January, I was like, all right, I'm consistent. I'm gonna stream you me every single day that I get the chance. Hey, if I can only do it for 2 hours right before I go to work, that's what I'm gonna do. And I have busted my ass since January. And you know what I mean? It's you can just tell, and I know that it isn't all about subs and it isn't all about this, but my consistency, and that's why I always can preach consistency, because whenever I wasn't consistent, I had this. Whenever I was consistent, you know what I mean, I'm always collabing with someone, I'm always trying to be in someone's chat, I'm always trying to show love,
Mhm.
and I'm always consistent. Like I said, I wake up 2 hours early before I actually need to before work, stream for 2 hours and go to work. And then on my nights off, I stream at night, of course. You know, I'll stream all
Yeah.
night unless my kid or my wife has something or something like that. So I literally try to stream as much as possible, if as long as something's not going
I know. I
on.
always have a hard time trying to catch it. I try to catch it. I get in there when I can.
Late.
This is you got
Yeah,
an
late.
awkward schedule.
Yeah, yeah, and that's I mean that's the thing that sucks. You know, I wish I could be that 6 o'clock to you know me 9 or 12 or
Yeah.
whatever. But you know me, I literally you mean I'll come home, I'll get my kids to sleep or get them out the door, get my wife out the door, and then I'll get some sleep, wake up, do my shit that I need to do, spend time with my family and kids, eat dinner, all that stuff at night, and then get them all to sleep, and then I finally get to play. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much like an all day thing for me. You know what I mean? Go to work, come home. You know what I mean? It's just an endless
Cycle.
repeating.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I can find that actually works for me. It's just super
Yeah, but
super late.
I mean, what you built is
Mhm.
pretty phenomenal at that time. Like
Right,
I always feel it's kind of hard to build at those certain times, unless that's where you are all the time. Like if
right.
you went daytime, I don't know that you are successful there. You know what I mean? Because you're so
I'm
used
really
to
not.
the
Yeah, and because you know, what I mean, like I said, I just to try to be consistent because that's stuck in my head. I'm
yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna stream 2 hours before I go to work, dude. The viewership, the love, all of that versus a nighttime stream, not even close.
That's kind of like I said to my wife
Nowhere
too.
near.
Is like I feel like on these days, like Mondays and Thursdays, I'm good at nighttime. But if I stream
Right.
anytime, anywhere else in the week at night,
Mhm.
like it's just not the
Yep.
same. Like I tell
Yep.
her all the time, I'm like for some reason in the morning it's just like people love me in the morning. Like I was like I
Yep.
don't know why, but this is where it
Yeah.
hits. And
Yeah.
I think what
It's all.
happens is there's so many people
Yep.
like in the Madden community. There's so many good streamers there. You know what I mean? But a lot of them you tend to see them pop on at these at these prime times.
Right.
So everybody tries to get everywhere and they can't. Like I know Deke right now is streaming, so a lot of his guys that usually are here, they're over there right now. You know what I mean? And that's a tough. That's it's just a tough thing to be able to handle.
Time
Like
slot.
it's very
Time slot.
tough.
Time slot. Time
But I
slot.
mean, like it's like Retro Yimmy. I put him on here all the time. I put this guy on here all the time because of what he's built at the time slot he goes at
Mhm.
like 11 o'clock at night till 2, 3 in the morning, whatever it is for him.
That sounds
And
like mine.
this dude's rocking 60 people easy.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, ow, I can't
Yep.
rock. I can rock maybe 10 through that time frame. Like
Mhm.
it's crazy. But I mean, so if you like so now you coming into when we get into all that you're gonna say are you gonna ride like is it gonna be like are you gonna switch days up or anything like that where you're playing MLB, are you still gonna put MLB content out or are you gonna
For sure.
strictly just stay into
I'll definitely. I mean, I have to stick with MLB because I mean that's where I mean even the viewers that I have from NCAA, I think a lot of that is just nostalgia. You mean like, oh, dude, I played NCAA back in the day. You mean I love watching this? I think that's a lot of the viewers right now. Plus,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, all of the people that watch me are my MLB people that just
Yeah.
literally just come and watch me. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, and
whether I'm playing
that's
or
what I think.
not.
I mean, that's one of the good things too is like like you have a loyal base fan where they don't care what you're playing; they're actually there for you, and that's
Right.
kind of where like I really just hit this year where I finally started seeing a lot of that. Like my guys don't care, and
Mhm.
like they're watching whenever I play. Now,
Right.
do I see more people in here when I'm playing Madden? Yeah, but I'll take my loyal guys any day. You know what I mean? Like I don't want somebody just because. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I am. But
Mhm.
I mean, so like, are there gonna be specific days that you're running these? Like, you're gonna run baseball or anything like that? Like, are you just gonna go with whatever happens, kind
I'm
of deal?
I'm honestly going with the flow because, like I said, I'm so scared of you know what I mean, because like I said, I went from I mean, especially like the tournaments and stuff that I was running. I
Mhm.
was going crazy with tournaments for a while, and you know what I mean, that shit gets expensive. You do quite a few tournaments, and you're dishing out money and handling money. You know what I mean, thank God that I had a bunch of people, the supportive people that would throw in money
Yeah.
because I was to the point where I was like, God damn, it's getting expensive. I mean, like to the point where I was like, I can't run any more damn tournaments. I'm coughing out 25, $50 every tournament.
Yeah.
And but
Have you
it's
ever thought about maybe spacing them out so it's not so much like you're not doing
right.
one like every weekend or every other weekend, maybe like one every month or something like that?
Right. That's what I had to start doing because I was like, it's literally like I would get my Twitch check and I'm like, all right, you know, what I mean, I'm gonna set some money aside just for fucking tournaments. Like it was that expensive.
Yeah.
Um it but man, I don't know. I really don't know my next step because I was getting tired of MLB. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start some just chatting stuff. Well, that wasn't there. You know what I mean? It's a
You
little
know,
bit different. I'm not
yeah,
that yeah.
yeah, just chatting is a different ballgame in itself for
Yeah,
sure.
so, you know what I mean? I was like, we gotta figure out something." So, and that's I was like, "I wanna play fucking NCAA." And so I'm stuck on that right now. I'm like, you know what I mean? I wanna dabble into that. And it went great, you know what I mean? My road to glory, I just won national championship last night, so now I'm gonna start dabbling into the dynasty stuff and the sub dynasty and um, go that direction, see where it goes. And we're definitely going to still play MLB. You know, I'm still keeping up and watching my guys that play MLB and whole nine yards just to make sure that you know what I mean. I'm not, hey, I moved type of deal. You know, man,
Yeah,
still watch all my guys, try to support all my guys, especially at work. It's a lot easier at work
yeah, yeah.
because you know, what I mean, I don't want to be on my phone 24/7 whenever I be spending time with my wife and kids. So
The
um,
balance is probably the hardest thing to
it's
figure
hard.
out, man.
That's absolutely the hardest thing, and it's you mean people that don't have kids don't understand that part. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you streaming tonight? Well, hang on, I gotta get my wife and kids to bed, settled, and then I'll be on." And then you know, my boy stays up, and I'm like, "Hey, I can't stream tonight. Boy's not feeling good, or he's not going to sleep." I mean, you don't want to sit here and listen to him cry for 2.5 hours while I'm streaming. So people that don't have kids, it's harder for them to understand. Hey, you know, this is my problem. This is why I'm not or you
Yeah.
mean like Sunday's his birthday party. So you know what I mean? I may not be streaming Saturday night. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what I mean?
more
If I could,
people.
it's almost
People are
losing.
pretty demanding over
Mhm.
in this command. Like I had a
Yep.
like I was like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I actually had a guy come in. And I forget what I was playing, but he came in and he's like, "I came in for Madden. I want to see Madden." I was like, "Hey," he's like, "Well, I demand you play Madden right now." I'm like, "What?" I was like,
God.
"Bro," I was like, "There's got thousands of people. Like, go watch one."
Yeah, and I don't know. And that could be I'm stern. Dude, I'm like, all right, fuck you. Ban. I don't put
Nah,
up
I
with
got
any
some
of that.
mods. I got some mods that got the quick hands now.
Yeah, dude.
They don't put up with too much anymore. Like
I'm like,
these
all right, dude,
mods are
just
just
chill.
like,
Dude, I'm not playing mad right now. Just chill.
yeah.
Oh, well, I want you to know. All right, motherfucker, just go watch someone else. I'll just make you watch. I hate that, dude. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and it's just I guess it's how it is. I don't know. But
Yeah.
so what is typically your schedule?
So with like so we're a little bit different. Like I said, I'm a dispatcher as well as a firefighter.
Mm,
So the way that our thing works, so we're a dispatch for one, two, four fire departments and two police departments. So if there's a fire in town, so I work four and I'm off four.
okay.
So I work nights. So you know, I mean, the nights thing kind of works out for me because I work nights. Um, So on my floor that I work, if there's a fire or medical call in town, my
Mhm.
police officer comes in, sets a desk. I go out on the medical or fire, get done with my fire, come back if he has a call. So it's a little bit different in our small town because we're one police officer, one firefighter on at a
Yeah.
time. So in you know what I mean, like I said, the four on four off. So I can go to different medical, different fire stuff like that when I'm off. but as long as it's in town, I can go. I'm obligated to go as long as my police officer isn't on a call.
Yeah.
So it's super weird. But 4 on 4 off is cake. I mean, it's awesome. You know what I mean? You work 4
Yeah.
and you're off 4, and so I pretty much I work,
So you run? What are you running, like 12-hour shifts then?
yeah,
Yeah.
12s. So on my 4 days that I'm off, I stream at night. You know what I mean? Like I'm on my second day off, so I'll be
Yeah, so
on tonight.
what's your typical time you start at nighttime when you're like off and
Like
stuff like that?
11, yeah, 11:30 Central to midnight Central, and I go till like 4 or 5 AM. And then the days that I work, I try to get on at like 3 and end it at 5, right before I have to go to work.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, all my time's Central too. So, that could be another reason. I mean, because 'cause I'm starting it's like 1 AM for you
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
ever catch one of mine. So, it's super hard. I mean, I completely understand.
Yeah, I get it sometimes.
Yeah.
I get there sometimes. But
Yeah.
I mean, so there you guys got it. You got his schedule, all that good stuff. We will also put his links. They will be down in the description. So make sure you guys get over there. Stop. I'm gonna let him get out of here. We're gonna end it here and let him sleep, do whatever he's got to do, go see his family. But I definitely appreciate you coming on and getting to know you a lot more, man. I was good. I loved it. Like it's gives these guys a little bit more insight on you, and
Sure.
maybe some of these guys will pop over and watch some baseball.
For
Um,
sure. I mean,
but
I can't thank you enough. Appreciate the invite. Appreciate the love. I
this
had an
is
absolute blast. Like I said, it's good to just kick back. I mean, this is good. It's my very first podcast or interview, anything like that. Anybody. So I've had one other guy that's asked me, and I haven't got to back to him yet on it, but it feels good. Like I wrote you earlier, I was like, I'm a little nervous, dude. No, I don't know what to think about it, but it felt good. You know what I mean? Especially getting to know you, like exactly like you said, getting to know
yeah.
you, getting
I
to, you
mean,
know what I mean?
like I said,
It's small.
when you're
Yeah,
nervous like that, like I'm pretty good at these things. So like that's why I talked to you before you even got on, kind of broke your ice, so you would just flow.
for
So
sure.
I
No,
mean,
dude, absolutely appreciate it, my guy.
yeah, anytime, man. I'm glad to have you on. Like I said, guys, we have new shirts. If you guys are interested in these, they are going to towards they will go to charity.
Uh,
Basically for uh the movement that's going on right now between the race stuff, and they say it's bigger than black and white, and on the back it does have the hashtag Black Lives Matter. They are going everything that's raised by these goes to charity. Um, and they are available in my store. They're sitting there, and there's different types. There's hoodies. There's everything shirt wise is there, and we also have for the show we have our own sticky sticky shirts. They are
uh,
available also. They're in the store. We actually just put up new ones. We just put up new colors. There's pink, there's green, there's purple, there's a bunch of different stuff. So if you guys want that stuff, that is in my panels. I can also drop a link for where to pick up all that stuff um, on the YouTube channel. So, like I said, guys, his all trashes trigger trash stuff will be in the description below. Make sure you stop by, show him some love. Don't let this be the only place he sees you. Good dude, great guy, great content over in the MLB community, and he is doing like he's been saying, he's been doing some football. So you're a football guy, and that little guy.
yeah, they're coming
Oh,
in
you
now.
know, oh look at this.
You say hi. Hi.
Hank. How old are they?
2 and 3.
Oh boy.
He turns 3 shit in 5 days or something like that, and then
Phew.
he turns 2 in a month, so we'll back to back.
Jeez. Yeah. Got the same thing. I got a what and what she'll be 10 in August, and my middle just turned 8, and then I got my 4-year old. So
Nah, dude, once
I get
again,
it.
I appreciate
Yeah,
everything.
man. Appreciate you too.
I love my dude.
Yes, sir.
Alright,
All right,
peace.
guys. Peace out.